Is Tai Chi just a kind of fancy boxing without any practical use? Three young martial arts practitioners are about to experience the combative power of authentic Tai Chi with their own blood and sweat. Influenced by Bruce Lee, Hu Fu has learned martial arts from childhood. He has practiced karate and came in second in the 60 kg group in an open tournament in Hong Kong. Recently, the Philippine Kali is his favorite. He also writes wuxia, martial arts novels. His own martial arts excellence informs the characters of his fictional universe.
I've been writing a novel recently. In this story, Tai Chi is said to be a very profound form of martial arts. However, I've never learned Tai Chi before.
To do research for his novel, Hu Fu goes to Chenjiagou, a place in Henan, China. This is the cradle of the Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, and here is a martial arts school founded by a successor of the Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. While his room arrangements are being made, he goes to the neighboring arena to see if he can sneak in a class, and has his first lesson in Chen-style Tai Chi. Hu Fu knows a bit about Tai Chi Chuan, yet all students start their first lesson with the fundamental standing exercise. Both feet are like the roots of a huge tree. With firm roots there grows strong branches and luxuriant leaves.
At the beginning, I saw martial arts as a way to build my future. I want to be a martial arts coach. I fell in love with martial arts after I started practicing them. Since then, I've been trying to discover flaws in my technique and practicing all the time.
Oscar was born in a Hung-Kun family and has been learning it since he was a child. Hung-Kun is an external martial art. It's tough, fast, and powerful. Tai Chi Chuan is its exact opposite. It's an internal martial art, soft, meditative, restrained, and aims to subdue a tough rival with a gentle force. Could these two martial arts coexist within one person?
I want to assimilate the techniques of different schools into my own system and further develop them.
Opinions are widely divided on who's the founder of Tai Chi Chuan. A rather acceptable theory is that Tai Chi Chuan was not founded by one person in a certain period at a particular place. It was put together by many predecessors. Descendants of the Chen family believe that their ancestor, Chen Wangting, was the founder. Chen Wangting was an army officer in the Ming Dynasty. After his retirement, he put together the fist forms handed down in his family and spread them around.
I've only learned a couple of basics. The first one is the standing exercise. This allows you to realize the feelings of your body and to attain a correct posture. It's quite tough, because the standing part of the exercise might last for as long as half an hour, and your whole body will be shaking. Our teacher has left me with a great impression. Chen Xiaoxing is a very quiet person. When he comes to correct my basic posture, for example, sometimes my waist and hips aren't aligned right, he will use his hands to gently correct me. He won't push me down with force, he just touches me slightly. For as long as I continue to be wrong, his hands will remain there, to keep gentle pressure on me. He'll only move his hands when he is satisfied. He's a very special teacher.
The Chen's combat skills at Chenjiagou have been taught for several centuries, and the lineage has never been broken, even during the toughest time of the Cultural Revolution. Martial arts were prohibited throughout the country. Descendants of the Chen family insisted to practice secretly to keep the heritage alive. Chen Xiaoxing is the headmaster of the Chenjiagou Tai Chi Chuan School and a direct successor of the lineage. He bears the responsibility to pass on the authentic Chen style.
In China, the officially accepted schools are Chen, Yang, Wu, Sun, and He. One might say that they are all direct and indirect lineages of the Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan.
The Tai Chi Chuan School in Zhenjiagou accepts students from all over the world without limits in age, nationality, and physique. Even poor children who can't pay their tuition fees will be accepted.
I am a successor of the Tai Chi Chuan. Deep down, I feel that I have the responsibility to run a good school. When I first started the school, I felt very tired, and to this day, I remain tired. I take care of everything, and it uses up all my energy. Now I don't even have a place to stay. I just stay in the school.
Physical training is emphasized for young people who learn Tai Chi Chuan. It helps to strengthen their muscles and bones. Then combat skills, basic forms, push hands, and weapon skills will be taught to improve their techniques to achieve the union of toughness and flexibility and to integrate the internal and external.
Tai Chi Chuan works in accordance with the laws of the human body. It requires you to move according to these laws, to open up all the channels and meridians of the body. It has an effect on rare diseases, too. Supposedly, incurable diseases can be miraculously cured just like that. So many patients come here with very strange diseases. I can't explain why they do this, but anyway, they come here and practice and are then cured. Quite a number of people have come here for this.
16-year-old Vera Dorothea Neumann is from Germany. When she was a child, she was deaf in one ear and she was half paralyzed. Her German doctor suggested Tai Chi Chuan. Her conditions improved greatly after she started practicing. Last year, she persuaded her mom to let her further her martial arts study in Zhenjiagou.
What about Tai Chi that attracts you?
Not only good for your body, but good for your mind as well. Like, good for everything. And now it's like becoming, there's something behind it, and I want to find it.
Before paying his visit to Chen Xiaowan, lineage holder of Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan in England next week, Oscar learns the Chen-style old frame first way with Master Kwok Chi Tuan, a disciple of Master Chen. Oscar has only ever practiced external style martial arts. This is his first time practicing an internal style. Oscar is very baffled. Wang Jiangjun has studied Tai Chi Chuan since he was a kid and has been practicing internal power diligently for a long time. He can generate force from his belly and bounces heavy weights away. This unique skill, called Dantian Tando, to shave with lower abdomen, has created 2 world records and is unmatched so far.
At the most advanced level of Tai Chi Chuan, you can use any part of your body as a hand. Wherever your body is touched, it can strike back.
Internal martial arts are very particular in the exercise of qi to focus it to the energy center of Dantian, lower abdomen. Qi can be pushed through to other parts of the body when the need arises. This is to protect one's own body. Internal qi can be transformed into a great force when a strike is launched.
It's quite painful when you do that.
Yes, quite painful.
Oh no. Next time I'll use my fist.
Okay.
Here goes. It was like my body bounces away, and I'm off balance. My whole balance is out of whack, so I had to take a few strides to get my balance back. The force reached across here in a straight line. There was no way I could keep my balance.
You have to relax your waist. Make sure your waist is relaxed. All right, try again.
I can't do it.
A 100-kilogram rock is nothing to Chen Hui. He is 25 years old and has been teaching in the school for 8 years. He's a successor of the authentic Chen-style Tai Chi. He's a tournament champion of spear play, pushing hands, and double knives. In the Kanglong Martial Arts Competition 2010, he was one of the 4 semi-finalists. However, after the draw, he faced his own master as his opponent, and he withdrew from the competition.
This is the first opening move of Tai Chi Chuan, followed by this move, the Immortal Pounds Mortar. This stores power from the top to the bottom, and it feels natural and relaxing. The next action is to push left. What I've just done is to move from the left to the right side. This is the right side, and we'll use a lower push here. Turn around, take a stride with a direct step. The lower hand controls the hip, the upper hand blocks the opponent's hand. The hip moves forward, then bring the knee up. We use the elbow because we are close to each other. Use the elbow when you're close, and the hand when you're further away.
Chen Hui deconstructs the moves in the basic forms of Tai Chi Chuan and shows that each move is meant to contain the opponent. Some moves can be fatal. Today, Q King Fu says goodbye to Chenjiakou, a small village with a population less than 3,000, where everyone has enjoyed Tai Chi Chuan for generations, and has unselfishly passed the Chen style, a gem of Chinese culture, to future generations. Behind this gentleman, some moves can be fatal. Coming up next, Combative Tai Chi. Li Ka is a die-hard fan of martial arts. He is learning chop-hanging style and praying mantis style. Now he's learning Tongbei style with Master Ju, a successor of the Baji school in Tanzhou.
The Tongbei style is basically a combat form. With lots of moves, you run all the time.
Tongbei style is a combat skill with lots of movement. Li Ka has a macho physique. Will the gentle style of Tai Chi Chuan suit him?
The Wu style of Tai Chi Chuan is a kind of boxing which uses gentle force to gradually build up great power. It's not really gentle. The move might look gentle, but it generates lots of power.
Eddie Wu, the 5th lineage holder of the Wu style Tai Chi Chuan, is the great-grandson of the master Wu Tianchuan. He left his own boxing school in Canada in 2005 and took over the headquarters in Hong Kong.
In Tai Chi Chuan, we have the plant punch, the point crotch hammer, the parry block hammer. When you punch these points, I'll show you. You just push down hard. Shoulders relaxed, and the elbow sinks. It's that simple. What's the point of sinking elbow? I'll show you. Did you feel that? Yeah, and it's already broken. Now, if you sink your elbow, when I approach, you just have to bend slightly.
Master Wu stresses that Tai Chi Chuan has 2 practices, health and usage. This means that it's not just for exercising the body. One also has to know how to attack and defend, to use the skills in a practical way. So he is often invited to many discipline services teams to provide actual combat training.
You're a quick learner, aren't you?
Actually, every move in Tai Chi Chuan can be used in real combat. Wu style is no exception. It's just more throwing and tumbling moves. Today's training was very tough because of all those moves. The force may come from the front, the back, the left or the right, from up or down or from an oblique angle. It's actually the 8 trigrams, 9 holes theory of the I Ching. That's how I used to practice it, which is totally different from Master Wu's technique.
Just sink the elbow like this, you see? Like that.
You can attack from any direction, any direction. If there's even a slight deviation, the effect is totally different. It's very scientific, and every movement makes sense. This is when I realized the wisdom behind traditional Chinese martial arts.
Oral teaching leads you to the entranceway and starts you off on the right track. Skills have no end, and you just have to keep practicing. All theories and basic requirements are exactly the same. Sink the chest, tuck the back, align the spinal cord, distinguish between hollow and concrete, relax the shoulders and sink the elbow. These are required skills common to all schools. So what are the distinctive characteristics of the Wu-style Tai Chi Chuan? They are the parallel step and finding a vertical line from an oblique angle. These are the characteristics. Why practice these skills? It's not just practice for practice's sake. If you can keep your balance while walking the parallel step, you will be much more powerful. Finding a vertical line from an oblique angle is also a balance training exercise, and being able to distinguish between hollow and concrete is a way of supporting your own body weight in a challenging spot.
Besides the original Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, Wu-style Tai Chi Chuan is one of the 5 major schools. It was brought to Hong Kong from mainland China by Wu Chen Chuan years ago. Later it became popular among Chinese communities in Southeast Asia, and it's all because of an open contest.
They like to invite masters of Wu-style Tai Chi Chuan, and after the Wu Chen martial arts contest, we gained quite a reputation. When you're looking for a teacher, of course you want a good one. Back then, Kun Yi was the best-known master. We were not a bunch of belligerents. We taught combat skills for health and self-defense purposes only. We've always been heading in that direction, and we haven't stopped right up to this day.
Back in the old days, migrant Chinese often took up physical labor. There were many bad members of their communities, so they took up martial arts to protect themselves. Then many Chinese became wealthy, and their health was then their main concern, so they treated Tai Chi Chuan as a refined sport.
This place has a very long history, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Since the Wu Chen martial arts contest in 1954, it's been very famous. Some local seniors and martial arts lovers invited Master Kun Yi to come here, and he did.
Oh.
Since then, many well-known and important people, and also wealthy people, have been very supportive.
Wu-style Tai Chi Chuan regards Zhang Sanfeng as its master and founder. But was Zhang Sanfeng the true creator of Tai Chi Chuan? Some ancient documents actually mention this fact, while in later times some wuxia novels, including my own works, all play up to this point. Yet some academic research has denied this point. Still, no matter what, Zhang Sanfeng is a real person in Taoism. And Tai Chi Chuan blends the yin and the yang theory of Taoism into its techniques. Personally, I think it's understandable how Tai Chi Chuan regards him as its spiritual ancestor. It makes sense to me.
Li Kao and Qiu Ching Fu are going to Lei Yu Moon Sports Center tomorrow to put their Tai Chi skills to a real test in actual combat.
Does that hurt?
Yes.
Looks like you twisted the tendon.
A tendon? It probably happened when Matt shifted, when I was running forward and my big toe got jammed.
Tai Chi free combat is performed by 2 or more persons using push hands and free moves and according to a set of rules. This can be training or a match.
The main purpose for being here today is to make a little summary of the Tai Chi free combat skills I learned before. To put them all together. Hello, hello. Hello. How's your foot? It's swelling up. Swelling? I'll make it work.
This is free combat, so use multiple moves. When I attack, you defuse me. I'll approach you and try to grab you, not because I want you to attack me, but because I want to strike you or kick you. Understand? Don't drag it out or anything like that. Come out swinging, just like this. Then follow on from here. This is free combat technique. Your body size doesn't matter. I just want to get close. And if you try to keep me away, I'll just give you this. That's self-defense, you understand? And you never stand like this. You stand to the side. You see why? So he reacts like that. Let's try it. Hey, not bad. Now then, if he stands still, I stand still. If he moves, I move faster. That's one of the mottos of Tai Chi Chuan. Begin. That was a cloud hand move. Very good. Now Kyo pushes down Ka and uses pure strength to strike him. That's not a Tai Chi Chuan move. Good. Good job. You okay?
My neck is a little painful. There were a few tumble moves. They were small, but there was a lot of strength behind them. Right. I landed with my back. It hurt a bit. So my neck's in shock. I'll feel that later. Well, I think it's going okay so far, but I don't know what will happen tonight. In terms of the tumble moves, I didn't think I would fall, but then you suddenly grabbed my center of gravity and then bang! Just like a thunderclap. Bang! I fell. Things like this you'll only experience during actual combat. In real combat, you have to respond and keep responding to the situation. Exactly. It's very different.
Chen Xiaowei, one of the top 4 grandmasters of Chen-style Tai Chi. Coming up next with thundering cannon fist. Oscar goes to Liverpool, England from Hong Kong to visit Chen Xiaowei, lineage holder of the Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. He is hailed as one of the top 4 grandmasters of the Chen style. Cannon fist is a mighty and forceful form of Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. It's very powerful. The explosive energy comes from the high-speed, spiral revolving movement of the whole body.
This is my first experience of the power of Tai Chi Chuan. This is the first time. I've never seen anything like this in Hong Kong. I never imagined the power of Tai Chi Chuan could be so ferocious.
This traditional training starts with the first way. This is how you find out the rules behind the movement and gain a full understanding of them. Then you start training in the second way. This is called cannon fist. The speed is not achieved through individual parts, but through using the whole foundation. Fast but not confused, slow but not diffused. This is the center of movement. Take the lower abdomen as an axis. It moves and the whole body moves. Each part of the body is connected to the other parts, whether it be through right-left movements or up-down movements. No matter how you move, the principle does not change. That was weak. Punch harder. Go on.
Punch harder?
Yes. Again. One more punch. Gotcha. Use fists from a distance. The elbow when closer, and the shoulder and hip when there's no room. I'll punch again. Watch. That's a punch.
That's incredible. His punch really made that sound. It wasn't a sound effect. It was his punch.
If he's close, use the elbow. If he's closer, use the shoulder. Like that. Push hard. Push harder.
I don't know why I can't push. Master Chen is just holding my back with one hand, and he's standing on one foot. Yet all my energy is being exhausted, and I can't push him. I feel my energy draining away, and I have to go down on my knees.
It's right here. You okay? It's right here. I've been teaching for several decades and I've never injured anybody. This point has an ability to sustain. I stop when I reach that point and people won't get injured.
I was relaxed and didn't use any force, but when he locked me, I felt a very strong pain. It was so painful, I didn't know what to do. Where should I push?
More power. Come on, harder. Come on, push, push. That's the basic technique.
You call that basic?
Master Chen has many students all over the world. Each year he spends a lot of time traveling to different countries and cities to teach.
Whether they're Chinese or foreign, when I organize classes, they will leave their families and places of work and drive a few hundred miles or fly a few thousand miles. That's how much they love Tai Chi Chuan. I make fun of them, a little. I say to them, from the beginning, I follow you. After that, you follow me. At the beginning, they are naive. I want new movements. I want new forms. If you tell them this is wrong, then they resist. So at the beginning, I follow them. You want a new movement? Okay, let's have a new movement. It goes like this. Okay, let's practice it. The flow of qi? Sure, let's talk about the flow of qi. Then everybody's happy. Then I start talking about the theories, and they realize that their ideas are very naive. Now they trust me. And now it's time to follow me. Master, no matter what you say, we'll follow you anywhere.
Well, that's tough.
Master Lau has emigrated from Hong Kong to England more than 20 years ago. He formally became a disciple of Chen Xiaoweng a few years ago. The forms of Tai Chi Chuan help to know one's own ability, and pushing hands is a way to know your opponent. Through pushing hands, one may feel how strong your opponent is, then attack his weaknesses.
His strength is incredible. I thought I was strong, but fighting him is like riding in a boat. The waves were getting bigger and bigger. The smaller the error, the stronger the flow of qi, and one can generate a faster speed with much higher power. Everyone who practices Tai Chi Chuan should aim to attain the highest possible state.
Master Chen says Tai Chi Chuan is a path of Tao. The path never leaves people, but people will leave the path. It means that everyone can learn Tai Chi Chuan. Whoever can't learn Tai Chi Chuan is because they give up and leave.
The standing exercise and silk reeling force in Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan do not necessarily go with Tai Chi Chuan movements. When you understand the dynamics behind them, you can apply them to any movement.
After returning to Hong Kong, Oscar continues his practice immediately. Chen Chung-lap was a high school headmaster before his retirement. He became a close disciple of Wu Dai Kwai, lineage holder of Wu-style Tai Chi Chuan when he was a teenager. Since Chen Chung-lap has a rather small build, Master Wu taught him the techniques of tumble and wrestle.
I used to look down on Tai Chi Chuan. Now I'll never say that out loud.
This is what we call the hanging movement. When he holds me up, I need to relax my entire body and put all my strength on his neck and pull his neck back like this. This causes him so much pain that he has no choice but to put me down. And at that moment, I turn my body and block his leg.
I tried to throw him down, but when I did...
Your lip's cut. Here.
Oh, yeah.
You heard it.
It was injured during the hanging.
Yes, it was. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Chen Chung-lap's tumble and wrestle techniques are fast and flexible with many variations, which often shocks the opponents and wins the match. Oscar has a smaller build, and this suits him well.
Use your body to unload the power when you hit the ground. When someone grabs you, you should fall on the side of your body. You touch the ground with these parts here, then roll over. Turn around to the side of your body. Turn around. Now let's try that again. Okay?
Yeah, much better.
You unloaded your force onto the ground. Doctor's coming. It's okay.
I think my organs got scrambled.
Where does it hurt?
It's not too bad, just in the back.
Let me feel your back. I think you pulled a muscle here. How's that? Is it better?
Yeah, a little. It's better here.
Is there pain in the front?
Just a little pain.
Relax. It's just a muscle sprain. You'll be all right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Chan Chung-lap thinks that Oscar's body is not flexible enough. Not relaxing enough during combat would allow him to be controlled by his opponent easily.
Master, I'm going to have a match with Lee Khan next week, and he's 6 foot tall.
Oh.
What should I do?
You'll need to follow the steps for facing a tall opponent.
There are steps?
There are. You have to learn how to support your body on one leg so the other leg can move freely. When facing a tall opponent, set up your standing posture. Then turn around and put your hand here. Now with this leg, then push down with this hand. Don't move your hand fast with a slow leg. If it comes from the front, move your hand upwards fast. Then drag him down. Between these two moves, you can't stop. Up, take a step up, and then push his hand upwards. See? When it's up, it grabs you. Naturally, you want to let your body sink, but that would be disastrous, you see. Now prepare with a stable horse stance, okay? So then I push up and pull down immediately.
An actual combat with Tai Chi coming up next in the arena. Tai Chi sword translates the theory of Tai Chi Chuan into swordplay. It's not only gentle like Tai Chi Chuan with a continuous flow of energy, but also has to express a controlling mind instead of force.
You're a world champion of the Tai Chi forms tournament. Could you explain the difference between standardized Tai Chi and traditional Tai Chi Chuan?
In terms of practicing, there's no difference between traditional and standardized Tai Chi. In fact, the forms employed in competitions these days have been developed from traditional Tai Chi, which is based on traditional forms. Those are a combination of both offense and defense, with some impressive actions gradually added on. By that I mean some difficult and challenging movements. Tai Chi used to only have a few jumping movements, but now we have kicks that are supported with a single foot, as well as some jumping, twisting, and landing moves, all using one foot.
Can you explain how practicing Tai Chi Chuan can bring us good health?
There are two aspects, external and internal. Internally, there's the practice of Qi, and externally, it's the training of your physical body. It's said that Tai Chi Chuan aids longevity, but actually it helps to improve the flexibility of each joint in the body. When your body is flexible, you won't get injured as easily, and the internal practice of Qi helps our minds to remain calm.
In the 1950s, the Chinese government started to promote Tai Chi Chuan to her people as a means to improve their health and longevity. Since the Yang-style Tai Chi Chuan has been developed into a set of gentle and stretching forms, so it's good for morning exercise. It is estimated that the most practiced martial art in China is Tai Chi Chuan. Over 100 million people practice it. Strictly speaking, this is only exercise. It has a very different purpose from traditional Tai Chi Chuan, which is used for combat.
It helps to improve your health, gives you a good appetite, and helps you sleep.
It makes you feel good and improves flexibility. Old people tend to fall easily, but look what I can do.
My joints have been having problems, and I can't bend my knees.
I'm 60 now, and he's my older brother. Guess how old he is? My health has improved a lot after practicing Tai Chi Chuan.
Can I ask, how old are you?
81.
Here you have to turn your hip. If you don't, then you'll fall like that. If you turn your hip and stop here, then you won't fall. Don't lean forward. If you do, your defense here loosens up.
Professor Yun Kei-ching was head coach of the Guangzhou Qinwu Athletic Association. He has trained up the Guangdong Pushing Hands team and has done a lot of academic research on Tai Chi Chuan.
My strength runs in a single direction. If you're fast, then I go fast too. If you're slow, then I go slow as well, right? The misunderstanding that Tai Chi Chuan is harmless comes from the fact that it helps to improve one's health. A lot of people forget that it has a martial aspect and focus only on the health aspect. Also, most people can't grasp the technique of overcoming a powerful force with gentle strength, because the technique is quite subtle. Its original foundation is the same as the foundation of all martial arts. It comes from the human and the animal, and has aspects of offense and defense. Chinese martial arts are not just defined by internal and external styles. Internal styles aren't just about gentleness. Gentleness can be built up to form great power and bring out potential strength within the body, but using gentle movements. Whether the tradition is an obstacle or a motive depends on whether there is a successor or not. A living tradition needs someone to keep renewing it and carrying it forward to future generations. The training of Hong Kun starts with toughness and proceeds to gentleness to achieve a balance. Tai Chi is the opposite. It starts from gentleness and achieves a balance between toughness and gentleness. When both arrive at the midpoint, they're exactly the same.
Li Ka, Qiu Qingfu, and Oscar have practiced Tai Chi Chuan for 3 months. Today, they're going to have a competition among themselves to test how much they've mastered. Eddie Wu and Chan Chun Lang come to give them advice, hoping that they can internalize what they have learned and use authentic Tai Chi Chuan techniques in the fight.
Get closer. Yeah, that's right.
Though this is not a formal contest, the 3 of them are serious about it. They all agree to wear helmets and boxing gloves to protect themselves. The speed of actual combat is much faster than in practice sessions. One has to attack and defend in a split second. Most of the time, it will become instinctive.
Okay, break.
Basically, I've just been defending the entire competition. Because of his height, I can't find a way to attack him.
It's very difficult to even break his midline, let alone attack him with a strike. Tai Chi conquers toughness with gentleness. But you don't have to be tough. You can fight someone bigger, but I can't seem to do it.
Li Ta has a better physique and technique and has won both matches. Qiu Qingfu and Oscar have a similar physique, so they have a rather equal match.
I used to practice karate, so I don't often have body contact or the chance to use wrestling skills.
Right.
So my responses were probably different because I only have a little experience with Tai Chi. That's my excuse.
I got hit a few times. That's because I just kept thinking of how to use Tai Chi techniques during the match. While I was trying to think of what move to use, well, that's when I got hit.
Usually we don't have to think ahead. We just respond to the moves of our opponents. Both of you used too much strength just then.
Too much strength.
Because we were nervous. Your horse dances were too rigid and the flavor of Tai Chi Chuan was diluted. I've learned a lot from this. Like how to seize the center of gravity away from your opponent. Actually, that's the most important thing I've learned.
Since Tai Chi Chuan isn't an external martial art, practicing the moves isn't enough. You may know the moves, but your body hasn't mastered the dynamics of the moves, and so you can't achieve the result you want.
It's great to have this opportunity to learn Tai Chi Chuan from these masters. Learning combative Tai Chi Chuan has been an eye-opening experience.
The virtue of martial arts is to distinguish between good and evil. Don't bully the good. Don't fear the evil. Martial arts has become part of the Chinese culture. Those who practice or watch martial arts have the responsibility to keep this heritage alive and pass it to future generations.